For the ninth time in NHL history, the Red Wings are your Stanley Cup champions of the world. Hi, my name is Zach Favazza, and I am so proud to be born in the year 1998. There's three reasons why I'm pretty proud of being born in the year 1998. The first is sports, the second is toys, and the third is politics. Now, those aren't the only reasons, I'm super proud of being born in that year, but they're the three that we're really going to focus in on today. I'm super excited and pumped to share with you guys the information that I have found on the year 1998, and we're going to start in sports. So, as I just stated, the Red Wings are your Stanley Cup champions of the world in 1998. Now, this is awesome, not just because I'm a Detroit fan, but because they expanded their Stanley Cup championships to 9 in 1998. That is the most Stanley Cup championships by any U.S. team. They still trail two Canadian teams, but for U.S. teams, they hold the record for most Stanley Cup championships. The Broncos beat the Packers in Super Bowl 32 in 1998. The Yankees expanded their lead of most World Series championships with their 24th win. The University of Michigan beat Washington State in the Rose Bowl, and Michael Jordan finished out his last finals run with a win and an MVP. So in 1998, we see dominant teams continue to be dominant, through 1998. But now that we've talked a little bit about sports, I want to move into toys. And toys were a pretty big thing in 1998. One huge toy was Furbies. Now, we, still have Furbies today. They're still relevant today. My cousin this last Christmas was like, "Hey, Mom, I want a Furby for Christmas." And I'm like, man, those are still around? They're not just still around. They're still popular today, in today's age. And that's crazy to me because 1998 was their debut that they came out. And I think that's pretty cool because those toys are relevant today. They're still popular today. And they debuted in the year 1998. So another toy that was super, super popular was the Hot Wheels car wash. Now, Hot Wheels have always been popular, little toy cars, kids like playing with them, racing them and whatnot. But they came out with this, construction thing to play with the Hot Wheels toys that you could, wash them. And kids just loved that. That was a super popular toy in 1998. Pokemon came out in 1998. The red and blue packs for Game Boy came out in 1998. Now, that is awesome to me because Pokemon is, like Furbies, relevant today. I would say it's even a little bit more relevant today. Pokemon Go just came out last year. And you can see all across the nation of the U.S. how big of an effect that had. So the fact that it came out in 1998 was pretty awesome. So Pokemon was kind of like video games, came out on a Game Boy. But some awesome video games that came out in 1998 was Crash Bandicoot Warped, Legend of Zelda, Tomb Raider 3, Spyro the Dragon. Those were some awesome video games that came out and were monumental in that year. There were tons of toys that were classics. There were toys that are even relevant today. But when people really think about 1998, they think of the huge thumbprint in history that was the presidential scandal. Now, here's the disclaimer. This is not a political speech. This is an informational speech. And this is just information that happened in 1998. So at the very beginning of 1998, in January, the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal erupted. And it mainly erupted because news outlets and news medias started reporting on it and people started picking up on it. Now, I would even go out on a limb and say that, that probably wouldn't have ever happened if it wasn't such a, closely investigated thing. If it was just kind of overlooked, I think it probably wouldn't have even came up in history. But because news medias and news outlets focused so deeply in it, people caught attention and wanted to just, look at it. And when people think of 1998, they think of that scandal. So we see in January that this huge scandal erupts, and in September, towards the end of the year, we see the House of Judiciary, the committee, considering an impeachment inquiry for Bill Clinton. So you can see, news media is just reporting on something. It may not be a big deal, all the way to this president might be impeached because of this huge scandal. So 1998 was kind of a roller coaster of a year in that aspect. But it was something huge that happened, and people think about it to this day. Now, that scandal had many key events through the year, but the biggest were that the news media reported on it, and in the end of the year, there was an inquiry about an impeachment. But, like I said, that's another speech to be talked about. So I was born on June 21st, 1998. And the reason I say that is because there were some crazy spots of June that year. First of all, The Truman Show came out, and that is actually not a TV show, but it's a movie starring Jim Carrey. Now, the reason I think The Truman Show is just so awesome is because it represents allegory of the cave, Plato's allegory of the cave, and it has a lot of symbolism in it. And in fact, my humanities class just last year reviewed The Truman Show to compare it to Plato's allegory of the cave. That movie made $264.1 million. Now that is a lot of money for a movie to make. James Byrd died in a racial-motivated hate crime on June 7th, and the Sega Channel, cable's first on-demand video game channel, was cut in June as well. So we can see in June that there was some cool stuff like The Truman Show, and there was also some not cool stuff like a racial hate crime. But that was a little bit of, what 1998 was like. There was a lot of ups and there was a lot of downs. And it wasn't really just a year of awesome things, and it wasn't really just a year of, man, this year sucks. It was really up and down. But overall, 1998 was right before the turn of the century. There were many sports accomplishments. There was a lot of amazing toys that were coming out. There was crazy things in politics all around, news medias reporting on everything. And no matter what, we look back at 1998 and we can just see how things have changed so much in today's age. But surprisingly, a lot of the things talked about in today's age can be reviewed in 1998. So I think that 1998 was a year of lots of different aspects, and I am very proud that that was the year that I can reflect on and look at and say, that was my birth year. So thank you all for listening.